when family members sabotage house sales. Well, it's unbelievable that I even have to make this video, but it's true and I've seen it. There can be family members willing to sabotage a house sale. And here's one classic example. A little while ago, we were doing a property in Montmorency. Now, I was actually asked to come there by a vendor's advocate. House was built in the late 60s, had an extension in the 80s, but literally nothing had been done. And the backstory was, it was for an older gentleman in his 70s. He was a widower and his kids were living interstate. So he had one daughter in South Australia. The other son was, I think, in Queensland. And so he actually wanted to sell this big family home and move north to be with his son and his grandkids. So anyway, we'd gone out there, planned it out, and the father was getting advice from his daughter, who happened to be a real estate agent in South Australia. And she just kept pushing back on things. It was interesting that as it went on and the more she was pushing back on, I actually happened to say to the vendor's advocate and the agent, I go, this is weird. For someone who's a real estate agent, we're just getting such contrarian advice. It was a real grind, and we got to a place where it was acceptable. It was just negativity and a bit of a confusion from him. Anyway, place was finished, and just before we had finished, he actually asked me to look at some houses. So he wanted to buy some houses up north, and we're hoping to get a certain price so that he could literally walk in, have 100K in his pocket and buy a new home. And on the morning of the auction, his daughter had been on the phone to him. And this is a really interesting thing. Actually, leading into the auction, there'd been unbelievably strong interest because it was a huge block of land, big home, dated, but there was 3 vendors advocates that were going to be there to bid for clients. And I do believe 3 or 4 others who wanted to buy as well. So strong interest. But the conversation from the daughter to the father was, when she found out the reserve price, Dad, they're trying to rip you off. It's worth another 250K. And at her behest, he lifted the reserve to 250K. And that blew everything out. There's no way, with the amount of money that had to be spent on the place, it would even get valuation. And bidding was going on and it never went to market. And in fact, people walked away. The agents were frustrated. And I actually said to the agent, I go, honestly think she tried to sabotage it, and which she did. The truth was, in our opinion, she did it because she was fearing on missing out on the eventual proceeds of the home. And the way it was going, he was going to spend all that money on a new home up north.